morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's meet a woman who is in herself a business and entrepreneurship coach who has a focus on elevating Caribbean women entrepreneurs. And so that is her focus, and that's our focus right now as we introduce you to Shelly-Ann Solomon. Shelly-Ann, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. And I see the last two words just behind you say, do it. Is that your commission to women?
Yes. Yes. Just do it. Too many of us procrastinate.
Yeah, just do it. So many people procrastinate. Now, you have a very special interest in elevating the Caribbean woman entrepreneur. Why that particular focus?
Well, firstly, because I am Caribbean. So I am her.
Mm-hmm.
So I know all of the challenges, all of the setbacks, all of the belief barriers that we have to break, and some of the hurdles we have to jump over. I also know that we are very intelligent, we are very creative, innovative, and we have a lot to offer. So sometimes we have all of those traits, but we don't have the support or the tools or the guidance that we need that's easily accessible to us to help us to bring those things forth. So my job or my goal is to help Caribbean women to accomplish their full potential confidently.
Love it. I love the smile that goes along with it as well. And so, but we're talking about financial success. Oftentimes, the woman thinks it's intuitive, it's the thing she has to do, it costs nothing. But you're saying, no, hold on, ladies, for just a moment. Because the thing you do can also be the thing that brings you financial benefit. But how do you do so to be successful in it? How do you divorce yourself from that pull that says, I'm maternal, I have to do this, but at the same time say, but I'm a businesswoman, I have to do this way?
Well, I'd like to say this. I believe that when women achieve financial flexibility, stability, and freedom, it gives us options. And once we start to internalize and embrace that fact, then the things that we think might be holding us back, we start to move those things out of the way. So yes, we are maternal, but yes, we are also individuals who want to pursue careers and goals. And we have things that we want to do as well. I have 2 girl children, and I wanted to be an example of you can be that maternal person, but you can also be that innovative, creative, productive woman.
And that's important, to be able to know that you can have both personalities working as one and not feel in any way as though one has to subsume the other. So
well,
when
it does sometimes, huh?
It does, I know. Sometimes. I know it does, and it's for that reason I asked you that particular question. Managing situations as they occur as a woman who leads her business, and so that she can have that stress-free financial existence. And so as situations occur, she must be able to navigate those situations so that she sees the success and create that stress-free life that she's so jealously yearning for.
Once you're an entrepreneur, stress is something that you will have to deal with all the time. I think what happens is after a couple of experiences dealing with stress, you manage it better. You learn that things will work out so that you don't dive into depression or you don't give it all away and give up and stuff like that. You start to bounce back. So I always tell female entrepreneurs, as you deal with stress as an entrepreneur, your bounce back game improves. So we will always have stress to deal with, but the way we deal with it is what makes the difference. If we bounce back quickly and we stay in a positive frame of mind, we will get further faster, because that means we're not wasting time wallowing in self-pity or in worry or stressing ourselves out unnecessarily, because we know that the answer is to move to strategy, to move to action, to move to solution. So that's where we throw our energy and our focus. But stress will always be there. How you manage the stress makes the difference.
What does financial stability look like for the female entrepreneur?
Everybody has a different representation or picture of what financial freedom looks like to them. For some people, it's being able to pay all their bills. For some people, it's being able to acquire property and to have financial freedom to do anything that they want. So with every woman that I deal with, when they express what financial freedom means to them, it has a different picture. For me, financial freedom simply means that I am able to live life fully and be able to take care of the important things and not be worried or bogged down by the basic bills. Being able to make sure that your children are secure. My husband and I, these were conversations we had when we were in our 20s. How our children will go to school. We don't want them to have bills. We want to have our own home. We want to pay off for the home by a certain time. We want to travel the world. We want to travel the world together. So financial freedom is dependent on what are your life goals. Because if money pays or funds the lifestyle. So I would always tell women, first identify what is the life design you want, and then you build a business to fund the life design.
That's interesting. But at the same time, she must put in safeguards because while you're building, there's the bridging loan and then there's the mortgage and all those kinds of things. You still have to manage all of that, and life throws you curveballs as it goes. So managing the moment by moment so that the longer term goal is achieved, what advice would you give to her so that when the speed bumps hit, she finds herself still comfortable and stressless?
Always have a fund. I call it the possibility fund. I don't like to say emergency fund because I feel when we say emergency fund, we're
Yes.
calling emergencies to ourselves. So I call it the possibility fund. And you make putting money in that fund or investing a priority, and that money doesn't belong to you. If you see it as it doesn't belong to you, you're not going to keep dipping in it to get a purse or a bag or take a trip. That money is in case of any eventualities, whether it be an opportunity or it might be a crisis. You can comfortably go in there and take out the money and not worry about living expenses being affected or being stressed by thinking, well, now I have nothing, I'm living in lack. So I would always tell women, ensure that you have a possibility fund and you're always pouring income into it as a priority.
How easy is that to do, or how difficult is that to do?
It is as difficult as you make it. I say that, let me just say that because people say, well, everybody have different amounts of money, right? But I started with just putting $100 into that account. So it really is developing the discipline of put it in the money consistently. Even if you say I'm going to put $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, if you cannot afford to put in the figure that you committed to, still put in something instead of nothing. So it is as hard or as easy as you make it. And don't make it emotional, as my husband says. It's transactional, right? So you say you can't put 1,000, but you could put 100. You can't put 100, but then put 50. You can't put 50, then put 25. And if you can't put any this month, then make sure and work on putting some next month. So don't stress out about it, but make sure that you are committed and disciplined about consistently buffing up that account because it's important. And I know that a lot of people felt the punch of COVID-19
Yes.
when lots of things were shut down in around the Caribbean and our businesses went. Some doors were closed and some sales were slow. It's during those times that account would give you that comfort and that stability and that security to ride out that tough time and not go into debt, because the people who had those types of accounts, they are not digging themselves out of debt. A lot of people are still climbing out of debt. Those people
Right.
are continuing because they had that income or that those investments put down there to help to carry them through the tough times. So it's very important. Never think that because you're having a nice ride today that something cannot happen tomorrow. Always think ahead and don't wait, for something to happen then to say, oh my God.
Yes, yes. You're talking about creating a habit, a way of
Yes.
doing things going forward that's consistent but shows result as well. And so, from what your experience is, what kinds of success stories have you had when people implement the Shelly-Ann method?
Oh, there are many stories. I can give you one particular story where one of my clients, she had an ill parent, and she was the only surviving child, and she had to leave working for a while, actually a year, and she used the possibility fund not only to fund her living expenses, but also to help support her mom. But she had been doing it for 4 years. So she had a good bit of money inside of there to help her. But she started off with zero when she met me. She was so grateful that she was able to have that money to help with her mom. Now, her mom eventually died, but she got a year of intimate, personal, close time with her mom and not worried about, leaving her mother there alone. So there are other people who use it to make down payments for homes who weren't qualifying for homes. And then there are others who were able to take their first paid in full vacation.
Yes.
I mean, that one sounds simple, but for some people, a lot of people aren't able to take a vacation paid in full. You're always worrying about having to clear that credit card after. So to me, that's a win.
That's fantastic. And so it starts today, folks, ladies, in particular women entrepreneurs. It starts today. How do you live that stress-free financial life and reach success at the same time? Here's as simple as contacting Shelly-Ann Solomon. And how can people contact you to get more coaching from you as they make that journey?
You can get me at info@shelly@gui.com, or that's an email, or you can find me on any of the social platform at Shelly Aqui or simply Shelly TNT. I'm on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. So anywhere you go, just search my name and you will find me there.
Easy, so easy indeed. And so she can help you achieve the success that you're looking for. She's also helping you to achieve the stress-less life that you're looking for, and particularly for women businesses as well. It's difficult at times because you're managing the family, you're managing yourself, you're managing the business, you're doing all of these things. But the Possibility Fund, and can you imagine the Possibility Tribe all working together to achieve just one thing: stress-free living, indeed. And so Shelly-Ann Solomon is the woman to reach out to. Just tap into her today and build on those resources. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We wish you every success, and as you are, you will continue to do it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have
You're
a
very
blessed
welcome
day.
indeed.
Morning, morning, morning.